Hey folks, welcome back to Zork Nemesis. I'm the Mysterious JG, and I just lost a video, so I'm annoyed. However, I had the good sense to save on a different slot, so we can pick up without me having to replay. I'll have to replay the entire video I just recorded, but I won't have to replay that plus the video I recorded previous to that, blah, 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 blah. What I'm getting at is, I'm annoyed having to replay a video, but it could have been a lot worse. Now, when last I got a recording to successfully take, the software I'm using is coming up with beautiful videos. It just, I don't know, it seems like every fifth video or so just gets eaten. But we were in the dorms of the conservatory, the Frigid River Conservatory. We went to visit the room at the Frigid River Conservatory for young ladies, and we went to visit Alexandria Wolf, not Fox, Wolf. Went to visit her room in the conservatory dorm, and I didn't find anything really embarrassing, like marital aids or slutty underwear. But we did find, while rummaging through her stuff, secret letters from her boyfriend, which she would probably be blushing a bit if she found out that adventurers were going around reading those after her death. But scary face. This, I believe, is the room of Madame Sophia Hamilton, the headmistress of the conservatory. So let's take a look around here. We got a guy with a thing on his head. We've got a changing area and a desk. Desk has a brush. Can we take that? No, it is papers. Sophia, Dr. Sartorius is a strange but fascinating man. As you know, I am not prone to dabbling into strange... Sorry, checking the time. Self-indulgent philosophies or womanish New Age experiments. In the last video, he kept referring to things as womanish and girlish. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I'm not married, not even seeing anyone. But usually if you go around referring to things that are silly as being womanish, does that appeal to women? Maybe it does to some women. But there is something to that man, or else there can be no doubt. And still I wonder, and I wonder, still I wonder. Mother Doctor's baby, the only way of securing power in this perpetually unstable world. Sorry. That's Who'll Stop the Rain, which you may remember from paint commercials. Because John Fogerty's music doesn't belong to him, and it's not right, really. I could have great use for him and his Philosopher's Stone in my campaign against the enchanters. I cannot hold them back much longer. Say nothing. I will write you of this further. Kaine. Madam Sophia, you are right. We cannot wait any longer. We must take a risk. Meet me at the Temple of Agrippa. I will summon the others. What has begun must take its course. It is our only chance before we are destroyed. Sartorius. Dear Madam Sophia, while we have never been formally introduced, I feel as if I've known you for years now. At least, I know many things about you. I know you sleep with my husband. I know you're only one of his many mistresses. Or do you think he loved only you? Has he been toasting you with talk of your future, of marriage? Teasing, I must say. Toasting doesn't make sense, and there's no tea. It's only one tea. No tea in the middle. Teasing. Yeah. Did you imagine he would leave me for you, and you would rule Irondune as the next Lady Kaine? Let me assure you, madam, that you have no future with my husband. He needs me, my family, and our lovely money. Without me, there is no Irondune, and there is nothing, and no one he loves more than that. Elizabeth Kaine. P.S. Fuck you, you bitch, whore, slut, schlag. Yeah, I'm gonna just spit all over my screen there. Schlag. Okay, so no items, just more background stuff. We're gonna find some cool items over here we can use. No. Bed with nothing on it. Alchemy. Thoughts from Al Razorki from Jumbo Books. And I don't think I even noticed. Pardon me. I don't think I even noticed this in the last video, so... But the whole of astrology is an art musicale, which reflected the operations and effects of the musical note. The pure sound, the subtle light, the secret influence of the harmony of the stars and planets dwells in every element. Of all the music of the spheres, this is the greatest. Only the one harmony of the spheres has the power to hold and fix the celestial influences, to keep them from recoiling back into their divided inanimate spheres. In this simple way of nature is the mastery to be attained. But what is the harmony, and how is it to be discovered? There is in music a certain melody, a singular array of notes, which, when played with a pure hand, apply itself to matter. But this art may be the one spirit to be united to the universal, and cause a chain of perfect effect and proportion. For the magical properties of the music of the spheres draw entirely from the perfection of music all proportions. The string of the instrument is the limpid spirit of man, extending from the implementers to the earth, and partaking of both extremes. Musical notes that lie along this string note the stages of the spirit as it descends into the corpus, and climbs back to the implementers after death. If this scale is played in that order true and destined, the limpid string passes through terra, aqua, air, ingus, and the corresponding notes C, D, E, B. The order of the elements is the order of those notes along the string, the harmony of the spheres. When the musician hears the harmony of the spheres, ... So that just gave us the answer, although from what I read in this walkthrough, we're supposed to solve a puzzle to get the answer. But when we get to that last puzzle, this area, you'll see how we could sort it out based just on this book. But I missed that book the first time, so that's fine. Meanwhile, we come behind this little screen to the bathtub, and what's going on here? Why, a computer graphic movie.
I'll have him not. I'll have him.
Hey, I mentioned slutty underwear.
I'll have him not.
You're making me wild.
Ugh, I need to see this.
As wild.
She's not sincere, she's not touching her chest.
2 young mistresses?
Only 2.
I have eyes everywhere. I know all your games.
I should beat you for your impudence.
Nice guy.
I should beat you for your faithlessness.
Dude, I'm kind of into that.
But I don't care. Because you and I are going to be together forever.
Together forever, forever.
And when your mistresses are old and lust is just a dim memory, and all they care about is finding food soft enough for their toothless gums.
Their old toothless ass.
It'll still be just like this.
Sorry.
Just like this.
Just like your hairy chest. Yeah, it was, many years ago. It's not really worth explaining, but some situation where Bobo and I were kind of improvising, and I was trying to come up with a way to insult an old person and threaten them with violence, and I said something about kicking their old toothless ass. So, there you go. And that doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, okay, so we saw that thing about the music of the spheres, and it told us 4 notes and the order in which to play them, which was new to me. I'm annoyed. I'm half tempted. As fans of my LPs may have picked up from 1 or 2 other LPs, I could have just gone with that video that died, but I wouldn't have had high-quality voice recording for me. You would have had perfectly synced commentary track. It just would have been of a lower quality. So this is how much I love you guys. I haven't I had a video on Starflight where I had to go with that because I saved states in such a way that I couldn't go back and recreate the video that had been. But that was just the. No, never mind. What am I talking about? The commentary track was destroyed on that one. This one, the video track was destroyed. So forget everything I just said. Okay. Here's something we should have seen in the first video we kind of missed. This tells you the order in which the instruments are arranged. And why do we need to know that? We need to know that for this puzzle, which in my last video I wasn't even going to solve. because I was curious to see when it makes you solve it, what you can't do until you solve it. And it turns out it gives you more information on the musical notes. Although I don't think you really need to solve this one now. I still kind of feel like we probably should. So we just saved. What happens if you keep pan relief on? You can't get back out of this screen. So we saved. Let us turn pan relief off. We're going to go ahead and solve the puzzle without buying any more vowels. Woo. But yeah, when you see what our reward is, or rather hear what our reward is, you'll realize that you don't really desperately need to solve this one. I think you can win the game and bypass this puzzle. But this will make me feel like I got somewhere, because in the last video I didn't actually do this puzzle. I skipped it. And without pan relief, we'll have major irritation with getting this to work. However, we saw the diagram that tells you where they go. We read the descriptions in Madame Sophia's room, or her office, and I told you that there are pictures of some of them in the manual. So now I'm going to refer to the walkthrough, because we have all the pieces to solve the puzzle without buying any more vowels. But I didn't bother to write it all down. I'm just going to use the walkthrough now. So we need to have a Gedrolangini, which according to the walkthrough is a two-ended thin green horn. That needs to go. This, yeah, see, it's going to be challenging enough because of the cursor. We need to try to. Oh, Jesus, is frustrating. I'm trying to see if I can. Some kind of diagonal motion can get it to. Because this needs to go up on the top row of chairs. It keeps going all the way down to the bottom row. Go! Maybe using instead of the mouse, I just used the, seemed to almost work there a little bit better. I'm using the touchpad. This is going to be potentially the hardest thing in the freaking game. I have to tell you, there's another. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, got that one. All right. Then there's the Nambino. Oh no, Vertimizer I need to do next. No, the Vertimizer is the central keyboard with white bells at each end. Yeah, it's the double accordion. That goes over here. Okay, now I can actually go all the way to the bottom. Nambino, my favorite one as far as the names go, is the copper-colored drum with gold rings. And the last one, the violin. I think we know what that looks like. Okay, now I need to get to the other. I need to do this again. So we need to put some stuff on the top row. This might be good enough. Though actually if I try to place them I'm going to scroll up to the top, aren't I? Anyway, Frobophone. It's probably the one that looks like a French horn. Yeah. Yeah, I know it as soon as I try to place it. Boy, this is going to be a long video. Just this. I'm going to at least do the next puzzle that involves having to scroll around. It is letting me. Ah, there we go. Throw the phone. Throw the phone. Oh, damn it! You give us those nice bright colors. You give us the green of summer and make every day sunny. Throw the phone. Come on. Paul Simon. When I think of all the things I learned in high school. I'm surprised I can't feel it. Something, I forget the blah 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 blah. I can see the writing on the wall. Purplish brown. Okay, the hopper keg is purplish brown tube with bulge in the middle, which should hopefully cause me to stop singing Kodachrome. That only leaves us two. We'll try the piano and the fleasel. The piano is a C-shaped lyre with 7 strings, so the fleasel is this one. And then that's... Yay, we triggered this. That's what our reward is.
Have you learned nothing under my tutelage? The notes are C, D, E, B, G. Their cadence is the harmony of the spheres.
So that's basically it.
Are you with us today, child? Concentrate. C, D, E, B, G. How can you forget the notes?
Bitch.
Without the harmony of the spheres, there can be no purity of the soul.
Yeah. So, there you go. Instead of having 4 notes, we get all 5. And that's our reward for solving that puzzle. Now we can save a Zork game. You save user game, I'll save another game. Together we'll save other game. And I will quit and turn pan relief back on because it's driving me crazy. Now for the next puzzle we have to actually go in and to the whole orchestra area. And before we do that, there's a couple things we're going to need to figure out. But let's just go ahead and, now that we got some records, listen to the music. Whoa, listen to the music! Nothing happens. And this, I felt silly, but this is one I had to check the hint book for. I didn't realize you can click this. You have to wind the machine, then you can play this album.
For the final performance of the evening, it gives me great pleasure to present to you, in her debut performance, the newest and most gifted prodigy of my conservatory, Alexandria Wolf.
She playing the right 5 notes this time, bitch? I don't think she's actually playing the 5 notes that are even mentioned. I don't think the 5 notes have anything to do with the actual music being played.
Alexandria, that was lovely. But, as we all know, no concert is complete without the standard Zorkian conclusory fanfare.
Oh, this is why we had to listen to this. plunk, 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 boom, 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 boom. Plunk, plunk, plink, plink, plunk, plunk. So we needed to get that. And that's why we listened to that whole album. Which was a pretty short album, actually.
The lights will go on now. Oh, and don't forget to donate those Zork nets to the volunteers at the booth. Thanks again.
Alright. There's another puzzle coming up, but I'll just cut to the chase while we're here. You have to know what sounds the different instruments make rather than simply their names, and this is how you find that information out.
Since 732 GUE, the Frobos Philharmonic Orchestra has consisted of 9 instrumental sections that align to form a crescent moon shape, filling half of the Zorchestral amphitheater. The violin, the most soulful of the Zorchestral instruments, sounds a rich, plaintive melody when the bow draws across its fine platypus gut strings. Lesser strings are made from hungus guts,
You dumb
which, though
hungus!
economical, has a
Hide!
pungent scent which many find distracting.
Do we really want to listen to this whole thing?
The Nambino is an Antharian percussion instrument that
It's driving me
draws
nuts
its
because
design
I
from
already
steel
recorded this
shipyard
video.
dumps of the port of Marba. Its thundering notes amplify as they resonate through the 4 apertures or nams of the drum casing, creating a droning overtone. The miano is a type of Akkadian lyre that has sometimes been employed by conjurers for use in musical incantations, or alternately for line dancing at guild socials. When plucked with a miano stick, the lyre sounds rich, deep notes, usually in a minor key.
A minor key.
Is a wind instrument with a delicate high pitch that fluctuates as air is pushed past its reed to a series of brass Fiesel valves. A long-time court favorite of Lord Dimwit Flathead's, the Fliesel was once sounded 300 times in a single meal at Flatheadier Castle, where it announced the arrival of the 299 next courses. The Wurtmeter is a 2-player folk instrument which requires one player to play the keys and another to pump the bellows, thus producing a disjointed harmonic blast.
So it's kind of an accordion that wasn't designed very well, because it takes 2 hands to operate the bellows.
River Valley. This unsophisticated, unwieldy instrument is the least respected member of the Zorkest.
Oh, no fair. A 2-person accordion sounds pretty awesome, actually.
The ancient Gederaglini horn sounds its strange, hollow timbre as 2 players blow from either end at once, varying pitch as they cover and uncover the horn's many apertures. The Gederaglini is sometimes referred to as the lover's horn, and is ceremoniously played at most Zork weddings.
Woo! Woo! Ric Flair is the oldest
Flugelphone,
instrument.
first introduced as accompaniment to the Borfi Metropolitan Opera, is a deep, twisted sounding horn which plays off a high-pitched Fliesel in most Zorchestral movements. It should not be confused with the Homerprobophone, which is not played at all, but used instead to beat upon flatheads in an attempt to broaden their minds.
Mama, please don't take
The
my...
Poppykeg is a small
whatever the heck that
percussion
thing was
instrument
called, I've
which
forgotten
emits a
now.
thumping sound when slapped with the
Probophone
hand.
away. Yeah.
As the keg clasp is moved rhythmically back and forth along its tubular
Ooh,
body,
that sounds kind of
the
sexy.
Poppykeg's pitch raises and lowers. The Poppykeg is popular among the very young, and those who refuse the commitment of a 2-player instrument. Most orchestras employ 4 of each of these 8 instruments.
Hold on 1 second.
Their proper placement within the Zork orchestral layout is critical to the success of the concert. The 4 other instruments of Zork, the Verni, the Umba, the bass trochophone, and the piano, are not considered part of the Frobozz Philharmonic Orchestra. However, these instruments are popular within the Empire's alternative music scene, which includes such groups as The Cruel Puppets, Gru in Chains, Curse Day, and Sound Dungeon.
Hold on 1 second. I guess we gotta turn this again. Oh. I'm trying to play it backwards. Can you turn it right way around while it's playing? I don't think you can. This is basically, here's a fun Easter egg. There's not much point to it. So that's good. Miss him. And I love the way he says that. So, it would take forever to go back and listen to it. You'd have to listen to the whole thing again, but when they're describing that one instrument where you have to move up and down the shaft, and then they say it's popular among the very young and those who don't want the commitment of a double-player instrument. I mean, is it just me? Go back and listen to that again, folks. You tell me if that's a masturbation joke right there. I thought it sounded kind of dirty, and I thought it was just me reading into it, and then I realized they said popular amongst the young and those who don't have the commitment of a partner. And I'm like, huh, maybe Zork Nemesis throwing a little bit of masturbation humor there.
I'm such a bitch.
Huh, why would we think that Madam Hamilton's a bitch? It's almost over, folks. Both the video and this listening to this thing backwards for wacky Easter egg fun. Is she weeping because he just made a reference to The Mask? And I'm thinking back to that Twilight Zone episode where the guy is at like Satan's radio station. I think it's not one of the more... It might not be Twilight Zone, it might have been like Fantastic Tales or one of those other shows, but clearly not one of the better Twilight Zone episodes. A guy goes to a radio station where no matter what record he plays, it starts playing like weird demonic sounds, reciting like satanic prayers, and he can't escape, and the doors are all locked, and he can't get back out, and he's trying to be a DJ, but you see him slowly descend into panic, and then he notices that they have a picture of all the DJs up there, but all of their start and stop dates are the same. Like, they start on one day, and that's the last day, so everyone has exactly a one-day tenure, and his picture is already up there, and oh my god, today's date is the last date, oh my god, it was lame as hell. But anyway, I think in the last video I commented that the evil laugh, after a while, started to remind me of the mistresses from Dungeon Keeper 2. Oh, but anyway, let's get out of there. So we're done with messing with those musical instruments, or are we? Certainly we don't need them as items anymore. And this is why we needed the poster upstairs. You replace the poster, the colors come back to life, and suddenly we hear the sound of crowds. Tonight only, the show. So let's open the door and see what happens.
Hurry!
It's nearly time. Get your ticket.
I guess those people didn't know. Whoa! Did everybody else see that? Sorry. Flashing back to Mr. Sean's theater. Now, you don't need a Zork Mid. You just need to get your ticket here. Box C. The walkthrough told me it was important to note that you're at Box C. Well, it didn't say important. It just said note you're at Box C. It doesn't really matter. And, because there's only... You can't get into any of the other boxes and do something wrong. You just wander around looking for the right place to go. And she tells you anyway.
In time. Box C.
Ooh. Box C. C is the sexiest box of all. C standing for... Never mind. Okay, so there's a lot of places to wander around. Not too many. It's basically every room you go into, there's only one exit that will work. Except for this one, you can wander down this hall and you won't be able to do anything useful. So I'm just going to skip it entirely and go over here and turn around and come up here. If you were wondering, that hall downstairs looks exactly like this one, except none of the doors open, and this one, only one of the doors opens. This one for Box C. So now we're at the Zorkestral place, the Symphony's Orchestra, and we click on the opera glasses, or Zopera glasses as they might be called, but probably not. And hopefully the closed captions tell us that Alexander is playing the Harmony of the Spheres. Which I guess is the same music we heard on that album. And call me a cynic, but I don't know that the movement of this motion actor really matches up with the music. But then again, maybe it matches perfectly and I just don't know anything about playing violin. Or maybe these things are not... Well, if I take out the it matches perfectly, they're not mutually exclusive. Maybe this doesn't match what's happening and I don't know anything about violin. The slow clap? I assume that's Lucian, her boyfriend. But why is he going, oh, beautiful performance. I'm so moved. I don't know. The dreaded slow clap. At any rate, it's time to go downstairs and solve one more puzzle before we call it a video, at which point I will be caught up with where I was in the last video before it died, except that I knocked out the placing the musical instruments puzzle physically in this one, which I didn't do last time, so huzzah. Because I was curious as to what happens when you don't do that puzzle, and I found out through reading the walkthrough while waiting for that video to process, which of course it never did, that I thought I couldn't do this puzzle that I'm about to do until I'd done that puzzle in the other room, but that's not true. All I get from doing that other puzzle was the information on the notes for the music of the spheres.
Hey, hurry up! We want to go home! Play the fanfare!
So they're telling you what it is you need to do. And now this, although it went very smoothly in the last video, this was a nightmare when I did it off screen. It just kept going wrong. So hopefully, I turned off pan relief because it didn't seem to be working with pan relief on. I couldn't move around, but doing it without pan relief is a nightmare. And I think doing it pan relief is working now.
Is complete without the standard Zorkian conclusory fanfare.
And this is exactly what you said before, even the same inflection, so it's the same recording. So let us play that fanfare. You can figure it out from trial and error, or possibly by remembering where the instruments are. I've done this like 3 times now, so I should be able to get this hopefully on the first try. You just have to find places where... They said if you hover over it, it'll actually tell you what instrument it is. But I don't see that happening, so I'm not sure what the walkthrough is saying. I think you just need to know which spot to hit. almost there. Of course, they're like, you never use, for example, this one. You don't want to use this one and the wrong point in the sequence. It's very easy to screw this up, and I was doing it a lot when I was trying to figure out. I mean, now I know where they are, but only because I did it wrong so many times and memorized the correct sequence. That's the one I usually screwed up. So now we should have it. Perfect. Very relieved, because off-screen that was a nightmare.
The lights will go on now. And don't forget to donate those Zork nets to the volunteers at the booth. Thanks again.
Alright. There's a new path to go forward. And we're going to go forward in the next video. Keep your fingers crossed that this one actually processed. Of course, you won't hear me saying that unless it did. But I will be crossing my fingers because I do not want to record this for a third time. Hopefully, when we come back and I'm next recording, it will be us taking the next puzzle on, and probably within the next video I should be able to finish the Conservatory. We will see, folks. We will see. This is Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. And remember, Red Rum.